been here continuously and who hasn't, there has been much said about the importance of Islamic education. Why do we need it? How can we best do this? By respected scholars, very knowledgeable people, whom I have listened to for years and learned quite a bit from, and still learning. So I cannot outdo the expert advice that's given already. What I can simply do is to summarize my personal experience as a mother and see if that can benefit you. And in the process, if I do make a mistake, please forgive me. And if I do say something that may offend you or hit home, know that I have been a part of it. Been there, done that, and trying to improve. And if anything that may offend you, that will inshallah benefit you, please include me in your du'as. Having said what is Islamic education and the definitions and all the theory that has been defined and is out there, let's just move on from here and ask ourselves, what are we going to do from here? What is the next step? Are we simply going to come and be bodies to be present and go home and carry on life without making efforts to make changes? That would be absolute waste of time for you and for all the people that have traveled across the seas to come here and offer their experiences both on theoretical basis and practical basis. How do we best implement Islam in our lives for our children? Know that there is no other place better to start a change other than your home. And to start it the sooner, the better. And to base our way of life, Islam, strictly on the teachings of Quran and the Sunnah of our beloved Prophet. May Allah's peace and mercy be upon him. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, "Oh, you who believe, save yourself and your family from hellfire." So having said that, the whole concept of hellfire in the akhirah, if we are involved in activities and in a way of life that will take us to hellfire, be sure that we are living a life that lacks tranquility and peace in this world as well. And why is this topic so worthy of discussion, paying so much attention to and effort? The reason is that the secular knowledge out there and the secular system is steering our children away from the whole concept of having a relationship with the Creator. The whole concept of Tawheed, the whole concept of the reason for our existence, the reason why we were created in the first place. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I have not created jinn and men but to worship me. And don't be mistaken, worship, we're not talking about the 5 times salah or praying zakat or all the other 5 pillars of Islam. The worship is in what way can we please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which in return will benefit us. Secular system, the public system, our popular culture, media, specifically schools, it's a very settled social engineering. The infusion and the assertion of all concepts of social Darwinism at every aspect of our education. From the moment our children are involved in school to the moment that we graduate from universities or get their PhDs, whatever, the idea of us being the descendants of animals is asserted, and this essentially exaggerated by concepts thrown at us all the time that since we are the descendants of animals, let your animal instincts lead your way. School teaches that. Media is constantly bombarding us with that idea. You've got one life to live, what do you have to lose? So go for it. At a public system free mixing of the genders, it compromises with the whole notion of Islamic modesty. It strips our children from their innate bashfulness, which is the fitrah of haya, which is in them when they're born. As a mother, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, we are constantly faced with challenges as a parent and with uncertainties as to what is it that we can do to raise our children in the best possible way. One of the surahs in Quran that I am going to give, this may sound funny, but a personal fatwa, like, just like Surah Al-Kahf, we are supposed to read it every Friday. As a parent, this is my personal fatwa. Please read Surah Al-Luqman once a week with a tafsir, not just merely an Arabic recitation of it and just think that you have done your job. Read it with a tafsir and know your responsibilities as a parent. And the formula essentially for parenting. It's a beautiful dialogue, essentially advice from a father to a son, Hazrat Luqman alayhi salam. Through him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to us, giving us the formula, the equation, and a perfect balance of how to raise your children. In very few surahs, how beautifully this thing is given to us. Unless you read it and understand it and ponder over it, you will not understand what is it that I am talking about. I'll summarize a few points. And this formula basically, it puts together the whole idea of the belief, worship, relationship with your parents, your responsibility towards your environment, your social obligations and etiquettes. Hazrat Luqman is telling his son, he's advising that worship Allah alone and join no partners. So right there he has given him the very first and the beginning point of what to do with his existence. That his existence is to worship Allah, and through worshiping Him and understanding Him and establishing that relationship of Tawheed and associating no partners with Him, he will understand his purpose of life and everything that may follow that. Right after his right, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asserts the right of your parents to be dutiful to your parents and giving emphasis to the right of the mother, explaining further what she goes through during pregnancy, during weaning of the child for 2 years, and so on and so forth. And then he makes an exception and says that the only time that you can disobey but not disrespect is when they are ordering you to disobey Allah. And then he goes along about telling him that Allah is aware of all affairs, both hidden and apparent. And he tells him, do not be arrogant. Don't turn your face away. Do not be a boaster. Be moderate in your walking and lower your voice. So, we don't have much time. I've only been given 20 minutes, and I think I'm going to go over that, hopefully not more than 5 minutes or so. Please take some time. See, I have 3 minutes. We cannot live part-time Islam. We cannot drag our children 5 days a week to madrasa simply for them to learn tajweed, recitation, make qadis and hafizs out of them, and then on the weekends we do absolutely in contradiction to what has been taught to them. To dress inappropriately, to involve in parties that are absolutely against the very basic fundamentals of Islam. And I know most of us, been there, done that, we know what we're talking about. If you live a contradiction, a hypocritical life, you are confusing your children. They will grow up not knowing exactly what is right and what is wrong, and this essentially will put them in a position that they will further raise more confused children. Most parents, they work hard. They save for the children's future, to give them a better life and to make them safe, and so on and so forth. But as a Muslim parent, we have to be very foresighted. We have to think way beyond when they're 25. We have to think, okay, they are 25, married, and so on and so forth, maybe not married, and whatever the case might be. But what about their akhirah? Please think about that and ponder over that. Akhirah being their eternal life. Since I don't have much time, I have a lot to say, a lot to share, a lot to confess. I'm just going to, before Samjan comes and shows me 1 minute, I will just tell you all to please make a close connection with the Quran and Sunnah. Get rid of the contradictions. Do not expect from your children to be what you can be yourself. Don't put on that hijab on your daughter without explaining to her what is the purpose of her wearing that hijab. Do not turn your sons or your daughters into hafizs and qadis without enrolling them in courses that explains the benefits and the meaning of all the Quran and the Sunnah that they're going to be learning. Implement it in your life on a practical basis. Make salah. Get your children to join you in salah. For brothers, please, lead like an example. You can't expect your wife or your daughter to have a hijab on and your behavior at home, outside home, to be absolutely in contradiction to Sunnah. You have no smile on your face, you don't help out your wife at home, you don't encourage your son to be bashful and cheerful and have haya, and then yet, you dare to tell your wife, dress appropriately, because my friend's wife dresses like this, so you have to be in accordance to that, the whatever is it. So, having said that, I'm going to conclude. I know that, yes, I have gone over my time, and all I have to say is thank you very much for your attention. May Allah bless you all. Keep me in your du'as. And let's start now. There's no time to waste because there's no guarantee of time. Where we are now, we may not be here in an hour from now. And please lead by example.
Allahu Akbar.